congratulations today. Such a fantastic match to see you through to the semi-finals here in Beijing for the first time. How pleased are you with your level, and especially in such a tight encounter?
Yeah, I mean, I was really happy with my level. I feel a lot of my matches have been slightly up and down. Honestly, I felt like I was outplaying her in all the sets. Even the first set, I had a lot of chances and just wasn't able to close it. And, you know, she's so good at staying mentally tough and, you know, making you have to beat her. And that's exactly what she did in the first. And I was frustrated, but at the same time, I was like, I feel like I'm playing better. I feel like I should be winning, or I should have won that first set, but I just didn't. And sometimes that's how tennis goes, and you just have to stay the course. So I adjusted a couple things, I felt like, going into the start of the second. Nothing major, but very small. And I felt like that was kind of able to give me a few more chances and kind of be able to hold on to those breaks in the second and the third.
So do you think it was more of maybe a mental shift, or like trying to just loosen up a bit?
Yeah, I felt like, honestly, with me this week, I've actually been trying to slow things down. It sounds counterintuitive, but actually do less. And that kind of helps me find my flow a little bit with how I play, and especially in these slow conditions when it's maybe doesn't favor me that much. So we've been working on that, and so I was kind of just telling myself that, like, don't overdo the strategy, like just kind of try to flow and find it during the middle of the point. I don't have to force so much trying to execute something, and I think that kind of allowed me to relax a little bit, and it freed up my game, I think.
And it's the first time that 3 Americans have got into the semi-finals at a 1,000 or the Tier 1 level since 2003. And obviously it just speaks so much to the depth of American tennis at the moment, and how well you're all playing and being able to push each other. How nice is that as a group of players to be able to kind of get to compete against each other at these high level events?
Yeah, it's fun when we're still kind of here after a long few weeks. We're kind of the only ones roaming around this site, which is always nice. But I mean, the depth with U.S. tennis, I feel like I've been asked this question for the last 2 years now a lot, because there's a lot of us doing really, really well. And I think we're all kind of pushing each other, motivating each other, inspiring each other a little bit. I think it's taken the pressure off that there's not one person kind of carrying the torch. There's a lot of us that can kind of take, you know, kind of spread the pressure out amongst us. And I think it's been a nice kind of, almost like a team atmosphere in a way, in such an individual sport, that there's a lot of us. So we see each other a lot on the road. You never feel super isolated. And I think that is something that goes a long way when the year, you know, gets really long and the schedule gets long. Kind of helps us spread the wealth a little bit amongst the long season, I guess.
And in the semi-final, you'll face Noskova. You've played twice this year, and you've won a piece in that head-to-head. So what are her strengths you'll be looking out for in the semi-final?
Yeah, I mean, she's a big, powerful hitter, big serve. It's tough playing someone like that, because sometimes I feel, you know, you kind of have to wait for your chance. And if you do get a chance, if you don't execute, they can kind of slip away, especially someone with a big serve. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. The last few times we played, they were very, very close, you know, sets each time. And that's kind of how it is with a big hitter. So I'm interested to see and kind of how it goes with the different conditions. The last few matches we played were pretty fast. Here it's very slow. So, yeah, it's going to be a little opposite, I think, from today. But I'll have to use, you know, some of the things that I've managed to do well over the last few matches, and try my best tomorrow.
Best of luck.
Yeah,
thank you so much.